This is New York, and they call it the City of Dreams. I've always wanted to go to New York, so this was for sure the city of my dreams, and a city which ended up making a few of my dreams come true. But first, let's go back to what I did on day one. So when we landed at JFK, it didn't really hit us that we were in America yet, until we started seeing the New York City skyline and was suddenly engulfed by the high-rises. And at that point, it really did hit me, and we were in the Big Apple. We stayed at the Hyatt in Chelsea, but we couldn't check in yet, so we decided to go walk around the area and hit up Chelsea Market to grab our first taste of American food. This was black seed bagels, which was amazing. And honestly, at this point, we were living a New York dream, because how more New York can you get than a bagel and eating it over at the skyline? As we finished off that amazing bagel, it then started to rain, and luckily the skyline brought us right to our hotel. We stayed on the top floor of the Hyatt place in Chelsea, which I definitely recommend, though I wish I shot more of the room, but I was way too distracted by the amazing view of downtown. After settling in, we decided to go walk to Soho, which was much longer than we thought, but being Londoners, we were pretty used to walking. Alright, so we in New York. We were going to check out the Flatiron building, but we decided to kind of check out Soho instead, just because we never knew the Flatiron was actually being renovated. So it was just covered in like scaffolding. So we thought we'll take a nice leisurely walk down to Soho. We're just pretty much just coming through Washington Square Park, which I feel like everyone vlogs there. So I'm excited. And I'm not as embarrassed vlogging in New York because I feel like this is normal and no one judges you. Honestly, that whole afternoon we didn't do much apart from walk around and immerse ourselves in New York City, and then jet lag decided to finally catch up with us. We decided to remedy that with some food and decided to go back to Chelsea where we'll go have dinner. But on the way while capturing a shot of this food truck, I ended up knocking my camera down and smashing the lens. But luckily it was just the lens filter, but that kind of clouded our judgment because we ended up at this Italian spot in Chelsea which turned out pretty mid and the food wasn't that enjoyable. So we decided to treat ourselves with an American movie experience to see how large the portions were, which they were massive. And after that, we pretty much just knocked out, ready to regain energy for the full day ahead. Waking up in the first morning in New York felt like a fever dream. Waking up and seeing that New York City skyline covered in early morning fog was surreal. The main motive for today was to go see the Museum of Modern Art, or the MoMA. And again, we pretty much just walked it from Chelsea to Uptown. But first, because it was an early start, we had to get our first taste of New York coffee. Now, nothing's ever perfect when traveling, so somehow Hannah ended up breaking a shoe. And it just so happened there was a shoe repair store on the exact same block. Right now we're on the way to MoMA, the Metropolitan, okay maybe. No, that's the Met, but MoMA's different. MoMA's, what does MoMA stand for again? But anyway, we've just gone to 10,000 Coffee. Got myself a cold brew on the way there, because like a 30-minute walk from our apartment, from our hotel. And because we're from London, that's nothing. 30-minute walk for us ain't too bad. Hannah's just in the shoe store real quick, trying to get her heels repaired because all this walking kind of broke it. Now that's all the footage I was really able to get in the MoMA because we weren't really allowed to film, but the MoMA was awesome and we honestly could have just stayed there the whole day. But we were feeling a little hungry and we saw that the original Halal Guys food truck was pretty close by, so we went to go check that out.
Ketchup machine.
Oh, look at this tipper, she tipped. The final verdict on the food was it was 10 out of 10 and it was bussin', and after devouring that we just walked around until we ended up at Times Square. It was rammed as expected, then it started raining, so we were gonna head home until we saw that there was Jollibee. Now, being Filipino, we had to check that out and took it away back to the apartment where we just waited till the evening. Now, this next place that we visited was the best food that I've had this trip. This was Jongro KBBQ in Koreatown. The restaurant was total vibes and it felt like a little village inside this building. There was multiple floors and we sat at the bar, had drinks before our table got ready, and the food was honestly 10 out of 10. The pork and the beef was just, it was amazing. Oh, what is it? We totally demolished all of the food, and it isn't a New York story if it doesn't end in a food coma. Break down these walls over some take. Oh, don't you worry about nothing at all. I can get to know you. We can take it slow. Savor every moment. Keep it on the low. Maybe just let